Security deposits are a standard part of renting a property. When you move into a new place, your landlord usually asks for a deposit up front. This money is meant to cover any potential damages or unpaid rent when you move out. But many tenants wonder, under what circumstances can a landlord actually keep your deposit? In this video, we'll break down the rules and common scenarios, so you know your rights and responsibilities as a renter. Let's start by understanding what a security deposit is and why it's required in the first place. A security deposit is a sum of money paid by the tenant to the landlord before moving in. It acts as a financial safety net for the landlord, ensuring that if anything goes wrong like property damage or unpaid rent, they have funds to cover those costs. The deposit is usually equal to 1 or 2 months' rent, but this can vary depending on local laws and the landlord's policies. Understanding the purpose of the deposit helps set the stage for knowing when it can be withheld. The rules about security deposits are set by local and state laws. These laws determine how much a landlord can charge, how the deposit must be stored, and the specific reasons a landlord can keep all or part of it. It's important for both tenants and landlords to be aware of these regulations as they protect both parties and help avoid disputes. Always check your local laws for the most accurate information. One of the most common questions is whether a landlord can keep your deposit for normal wear and tear. The answer is no. Normal wear and tear refers to the expected deterioration of a property over time, like faded paint or minor carpet wear. These are considered part of the cost of doing business for landlords and cannot be deducted from your deposit. Understanding this distinction is crucial for both tenants and landlords. Landlords can keep part or all of your deposit if you cause damage that goes beyond normal wear and tear. This includes things like broken windows, large holes in the wall, or stains that can't be cleaned. If the damage is significant and requires repairs, the landlord can use your deposit to cover those costs. It's important to document the condition of the property when you move in and out to avoid disputes. If you leave the property owing rent, your landlord is typically allowed to deduct the unpaid amount from your deposit. This is one of the main reasons landlords require a deposit in the first place. Always make sure your rent is fully paid before moving out to ensure you get your deposit back in full. Some landlords charge cleaning fees if the property is left excessively dirty. However, they can only deduct reasonable cleaning costs from your deposit. If you leave the property in the same condition as when you moved in, minus normal wear and tear, you shouldn't be charged. Always check your lease for specific cleaning requirements. If you remove or lose items that came with the rental, like appliances or furniture, your landlord can deduct the replacement cost from your deposit. This only applies to items that were listed in the inventory or lease agreement. Always double-check the inventory list before moving out. If you break your lease early without a valid reason, your landlord may be entitled to keep some or all of your deposit. This is to cover any losses they incur while finding a new tenant. However, the landlord must make reasonable efforts to re-rent the property and minimize losses. Making changes to the property without permission, such as painting walls or installing fixtures, can result in deductions from your deposit. Landlords can use the deposit to restore the property to its original condition. Always get written approval before making any alterations. If you have pets and they cause damage to the property, such as scratched floors or stained carpets, your landlord can deduct the cost of repairs from your deposit. Some leases require an additional pet deposit, but even without one, you're responsible for any pet-related damage. Not returning all keys when you move out can lead to deductions from your deposit. The landlord may need to change the locks for security reasons, and you could be charged for this. Always make sure to return every key you were given at the start of your tenancy. If you don't give the required notice before moving out, your landlord may be able to keep part of your deposit. Most leases specify how much notice you need to give, usually 30 days. Failing to do so can result in lost rent for the landlord, which they may recover from your deposit. If you leave behind unpaid utility bills that are in the landlord's name, they may deduct those amounts from your deposit. This includes water, electricity, gas, or other services. Always settle all utility accounts before moving out to avoid unexpected deductions. If illegal activities take place in the rental property, the landlord may have grounds to keep your deposit. This could include drug use, unauthorized subletting, or other violations of the law. Such actions often result in additional damages or legal costs for the landlord. Subletting your rental without the landlord's approval is usually a violation of your lease. If you do this, your landlord may be able to keep your deposit to cover any damages or losses caused by unauthorized occupants. Always get written permission before subletting. If you abandon the property without notice, your landlord may keep your deposit to cover any losses, such as unpaid rent or the cost of storing your belongings. Abandonment is usually defined in your lease, so check the terms carefully. If you agree to repair damage you caused but fail to do so before moving out, your landlord can use your deposit to hire professionals. Always complete agreed repairs or communicate with your landlord about any issues. Having excessive guests or long-term visitors without the landlord's approval can violate your lease. If this leads to extra wear or damage, your landlord may deduct costs from your deposit. Always follow guest policies in your rental agreement. Leaving trash or unwanted items behind when you move out can result in cleaning or removal fees. Your landlord can deduct these costs from your deposit. Make sure to clear out all belongings and dispose of trash properly before leaving. Landlords are required to return your deposit minus any legitimate deductions within a certain time frame, usually 14 to 30 days after you move out. They must also provide an itemized list of deductions. If you disagree with any charges, you have the right to dispute them. To protect your deposit, always document the property's condition when you move in and out. Take clear photos and keep a written record. This evidence can help resolve disputes if your landlord claims damages that weren't your fault. Many landlords provide a move-in checklist for you to note the condition of each room and item. Fill this out carefully and have both parties sign it. This checklist serves as a reference when you move out and can prevent unfair deductions. Before you leave, schedule a move-out inspection with your landlord. Walk through the property together and note any issues. This gives you a chance to fix problems and helps ensure a fair assessment of the property's condition. Your lease agreement outlines the specific conditions under which your deposit can be withheld. Read it carefully before signing and ask questions if anything is unclear. Knowing your lease terms helps you avoid surprises when moving out. Deposit rules can vary widely depending on where you live. Some states have strict limits on deposit amounts and detailed requirements for returning deposits. Always check your state's laws to understand your rights and responsibilities. In some places, landlords are required to pay interest on your deposit. This means you could get back more than you paid, depending on how long you live there. Ask your landlord or check local laws to see if this applies to you. Some states require landlords to keep deposits in separate interest-bearing accounts. This protects your money and ensures it's available when you move out. Ask your landlord where your deposit will be held and if you're entitled to any interest. If you believe your landlord has made unfair deductions, you have the right to dispute them. Start by communicating with your landlord and providing evidence like photos or checklists. If you can't resolve the issue, you may need to seek legal help or use a small claims court. If you can't resolve a deposit dispute with your landlord, you can take the case to small claims court. This is a relatively simple and affordable way to recover your money. Be sure to bring all relevant documents and evidence to support your case. Landlords have legal responsibilities when handling deposits. They must follow state laws, provide receipts, and return the deposit within the required time frame. Failing to do so can result in penalties or legal action against the landlord. As a tenant, you're responsible for paying rent on time, caring for the property, and following the lease terms. Fulfilling these responsibilities increases your chances of getting your deposit back in full. Always communicate with your landlord if issues arise. Good communication between tenants and landlords can prevent most deposit disputes. If you have concerns or questions, address them early. Keeping everything in writing helps protect both parties and ensures a smoother move-out process. Many tenants lose part of their deposit due to avoidable mistakes, like not cleaning properly, failing to document the property's condition, or not reading the lease. By being proactive and organized, you can avoid these common pitfalls and protect your deposit. Keep copies of all documents related to your rental, including the lease, receipts, and correspondence with your landlord. These records can be invaluable if a dispute arises over your deposit. Organize them in a safe place for easy access. If you disagree with a deduction, try negotiating with your landlord before escalating the issue. Sometimes, a simple conversation can resolve misunderstandings and lead to a fair compromise. Be polite and provide evidence to support your case. Landlords must provide a clear, itemized list of any deductions from your deposit. This list should explain each charge and include receipts or estimates for repairs. If the list is unclear or incomplete, ask for more information. Most states require landlords to return your deposit within a set period, often 14 to 30 days after you move out. If your landlord misses this deadline, they may face penalties. Keep track of dates and follow up if you don't receive your deposit on time. If a landlord wrongfully withholds your deposit, they may be required to pay you extra damages, sometimes up to 3 times the original amount. This is meant to discourage unfair practices and protect tenants' rights. If you're unsure about your rights or face a complicated dispute, consider seeking legal advice. Many tenant organizations offer free or low-cost help. Knowing your legal options can make a big difference in resolving deposit issues. Some areas offer mediation services to help landlords and tenants resolve disputes without going to court. Mediation is often faster and less expensive than legal action, and can lead to mutually agreeable solutions. To sum up, landlords can only keep your deposit for specific reasons, such as unpaid rent, property damage beyond normal wear and tear, or breach of lease terms. Always document everything, communicate clearly, and know your rights to protect your deposit. Before moving out, clean thoroughly, repair any damage, and return all keys. Review your lease and provide proper notice. By following these steps, you'll maximize your chances of getting your full deposit back and avoid unnecessary disputes. If you need more information, many local housing authorities and tenant organizations offer resources on deposit laws and dispute resolution. Don't hesitate to reach out for help if you're unsure about your situation. Understanding when a landlord can keep your deposit is essential for every renter. By knowing the rules, documenting everything, and communicating openly, you can protect your rights and ensure a smooth rental experience. Thanks for watching, and good luck with your next move!